Okay, Functional Fitness Elite, welcome back. C-Day. You have hung in there all week. Just a little brief overview. Today is similar to A-Day and B-Day if you're just joining us for the first time this week. So we have a new kind of a movement prep process. We have about 10 exercises that'll progress from the ground up and put all of our joints through a full range of motion. As well as activate all the key muscle groups that typically lie dormant. So it'll prep us a little bit better for the work to come, as well as help us feel better down the road and hopefully prevent any injury as we move along and train our body at a higher and higher level. After that, we have 5 exercises rather than the 7 that we did in phase 1. So a couple less exercises, but we're going to go more rounds through it. So we have 5 rounds through all 5 exercises, and then we're going to organize them just a little bit differently within the workout. So you have a superset, an A1 and an A2 exercise in the very beginning. So you're going to pair up 2 exercises and switch back and forth between those 2. You're going to take a little bit longer rest and a little fewer reps on all exercises for C-Day in phase 2. So you get the opportunity to move just a little bit more weight, make the exercise more challenging or slightly more complex, depending on how you want to do it. And then the last 3 exercises we'll do in a little circuit fashion, where we work for 20 seconds, trying to get about 10 repetitions, and then we'll take just a 20-second break before moving on to the next movement. So it'll go pretty quick once we get to that point. The heart rate will be up. You'll be sweating really good. We burn a lot of calories, and then we'll keep that metabolism elevated for hours to come, even after the workout's over. So stick with me today. As always, if you want to jump ahead to the actual workout, if you want to do like your own warm-up or do whatever, just make sure that you're good and sweaty and you're warm and your body's prepped for the work to come, because it's going to get a little intense today. So let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to do today is lie down on our back again. We will do some of our hip flexion exercises here. So similar to A-Day, we're going to lie on our back and do what's called an active isolated hamstring stretch. So that one, you're trying to hug that right knee to your chest. You create a straight long line all the way from your ear through your left ankle, and you're going to alternate, extend, and flex that knee joint, trying to get a good hamstring stretch, feeling the tissue back behind the thigh on the back side of the leg stretching there, okay? You want about 10 repetitions on each side before moving on to the next one, all right? So maybe you want to get a little bit uncomfortable, not crazy, not a ton of stretch, but also it does need to be a little bit uncomfortable for you to change those tissues. All right, so after the active isolated hamstring stretch, we're going to do an active straight leg raise, okay? You notice I'm pressing into the floor with my hands and forearms. That helps kind of set the core, and I'm trying to fire that quad muscle on the left side, keep my leg all the way straight, and raise it up as far as it'll possibly go. Your down leg, my right leg, needs to be all the way straight, straight knee with the toe pointed straight to the ceiling, okay? Now, moving on to the other side. So trying to keep that knee as straight as possible. Squeeze that quad muscle. Keep that core engaged by pressing into the floor, drawing the belly button in, raising that leg up as high as it will possibly go, keeping that whole body line stuck to the floor. 10 repetitions each side. Now, next one, an advancement. This is a little bit more challenging. Those abdominal muscles will be burning a little bit. This is called leg lowering, active leg lowering, okay? So you're going to try to keep one leg straight to the ceiling as high as you possibly can. Then you're going to lower the other leg down, okay? If this is highly challenging, you just can't keep those legs up there, you can always place like a pillow or some sort of bolster underneath that lowering leg and go just a little bit shorter with the range of motion, okay? So 10 repetitions on the right leg, then 10 repetitions on the left leg. Make sure you get 10 on both. The second leg is going to be far more challenging. Those abdominal muscles are going to be burning, but you got this. Especially after a couple weeks, this will be a cakewalk. You'll be able to keep those knees even straighter. So keep everything pulled in nice and tight. Hips glued to the floor. Ribs are down. All right. Great job. Okay, now we're going to do some side lying hip circles. These are a little bit different than what we do on B-Day, okay? So as you raise your knee to the chest, then you are going to try to rotate your lower leg so the ankle goes towards the ceiling, okay? Now you want to try to keep that ankle as high as possible so that femur, that upper leg bone, is internally rotated as you extend your leg and keep it as high as possible all the way out and around, okay? So this kind of hits the opposite end range of motion of that ball and socket joint of what we did on B-Day with the supine hip circles, the lying on your back hip circles. So you're going to go for 10 here. If you're not getting a lot of range of motion, that's okay. This is really challenging for a lot of people. It's actually really challenging for me. Something I really got to work on, and I definitely notice a difference from side to side. Typically, my left leg is just a little bit harder than my right. So those hip muscles are going to be burning just a little bit. These next 3 exercises that we're going to do are all going to kind of hit those hip muscles big time. So just kind of hang in there. It'll get better over the next couple weeks as you get more used to this. Okay, so knee comes up to the chest, ankle goes towards the ceiling, knee towards the ceiling, as far as you go. Remember, you're trying to get all the motion out of that ball and socket joint. Try to use the floor, brace the core, make sure nothing else is moving as much as possible. Try to disassociate all the joints from the one moving. Okay, so 10 reps each side. Embrace the burn. Really be mindful and focus on getting those hip joints moving. Next, we're going to do a short side plank. Okay, so going to be on the knee and the elbow. You'll notice my whole lower leg is in contact with the floor, not just the knee, so the shin is in contact as well. I'm trying to hold a great side plank, and I'm raising that left leg up as high as I can in hip abduction. Okay, so you're going 10 reps, and then you're going to switch to the other side. So short side plank, hip abduction, 10 repetitions. Nice. Really try to keep that toe straight ahead too. I think it's going to want to turn out. Really got to fight, especially as those hip muscles start to tire out. All right, next one. Going some groin emphasis quad rocking. Okay, so we're going to be in an all fours position. We're going to pop our right leg way out wide to the right, trying to make our leg all the way straight. Okay, and now you're really trying to brace those abdominal muscles while you rock backwards and stretch that groin. Okay, so we want to try to go maybe a centimeter, an inch farther each repetition, going back, back, back. But you want to make sure that spine stays super, super lined up. No movement whatsoever. Drawing that belly button in. So 10 rocks, forward and backwards, trying to go back a little farther each time. So you can technique check me, see if my spine is staying lined up. Looks like I'm doing a pretty good job. So all of that range of motion is coming out that ball and socket joint there. I'm going a little farther each time as that groin relaxes. This is a great one to do on a daily basis if you can get yourself in this position. So pushing back, 10 repetitions, a little farther each time, then rocking out of that good stretch. Going 10 and 10 each side. Once you get to 10, we're going to put ourselves in a push-up position. We're going to go back to that world's greatest stretch. So we're going to bring that right foot up by the right hand. We're going to drop that right elbow to the floor. Reach the right arm up as you rotate the shoulders. Make sure you follow your hands with your eyes. Then you're going to rock the hips up and backwards as you straighten the knee and pull the toe up. Trying to make that triangle position, that triangle pose between the legs and the floor. Okay, so we're just going 5 reps each side here with the world's greatest stretch. 3-part movement, down, up, and back. We'll switch sides. So bring that left foot up by the left hands, dropping that left elbow to the floor, reaching that left arm up, following the hand with the eyes, and then rocking the hips up and backwards as you reach. There you go. Good. One other thing you'll notice, I'm kind of pulling my toe up. That really helps get a little bit more tension on all those backside muscles there. Kind of good, helps kind of lengthen those things, get them woken up with that little bit of a stretch reflex there. There we go. Okay, now we're gonna go back to those hip pop-ups. You notice those are in every single day. We do those all the time. Okay, that deep squat pattern is so fundamental. We do not do that enough here in the United States. We sit a lot in chairs, and then we lose the ability to kind of drop down into that low squat, that bodyweight squat position, like a crouch. So this is really great for those knees and ankles and hips. Over the course of this month, you can really try to focus on getting that crease of the hip down below that knee joint, and let those knees track forward to those toes, work on the ankle mobility. Remember, you want your feet to stay flat. Your elbows will track inside the knees, force the knees out wide. You're going to try to pull your chest up at the bottom. Okay. Next, we're going to go lunge matrix. Okay, so we're going to do 4 lunges. Okay, we're going to do 3 each leg. We're going to do a different reach each time we lunge. Okay, so the first one is reaching down. The second one is reaching up. And the third one is going to be twisting towards the direction of your lunging leg. We'll do lateral lunges as well. Okay, so a lateral lunge reaching down. Next is going to be a lateral lunge reaching up. Okay, lunge reaching up. And then you're going to do the twisting version. So lunge out, twist the direction of your lunging leg. So lunge right, twist right, lunge left, twist left. Now we're going to do a drop step lunge. So our feet are going to be about 90 degrees to each other. Our front leg, our kickstand leg, needs to stay stuck. So that toe stays pointed straight ahead. Stuck in the earth. Okay, remember you're reaching down on the first one, then reaching up on the second one, and then you're twisting towards your lunging leg on the third one. Okay, this is great for hip mobility as well as getting all those core muscles turned on. Okay, last thing, 10th movement before we get going is this is another single leg balancing exercise, but this time we're going to drive some dynamic balance work with our leg reach. Okay, so we're going to go 3 reaches each direction, pushing that foot as far as you can, forward and backwards, side to side, so out wide to the side, then crossing over midline. And then you're going to turn your whole body. You make a T in the front with the feet and then an L in the back. So you see I'm opening up, I'm closing off. My whole body is rotating above that ball and socket joint of my support leg. So same thing here on the other one. Forward and backwards, going 3 times. It's okay to use your arms for balance. They're there for a reason. Really challenge. You're going to make this extra challenging. You just hover your foot above the floor without even touching it. So as you get better at this and you do this on a weekly basis, you'll notice it becomes far less challenging. Your balance will improve. And then you don't touch your foot the entire time. You're going to be moving all over the place, challenging that balance, getting better proprioception, and you won't even have to touch that foot. Okay, so moving on. Today we have our A1 and A2 exercises are a squat. I'm going to kind of use the progression idea. So I'm going to show you 5 different versions of a squat, progressing up from a regular old goblet squat. And then we're going to go a single arm or 1 arm dumbbell military press. So we're just going to switch back and forth between those 2 exercises, trying to go 10 repetitions in about 20 seconds, so a fairly decent tempo. And then you're going to take a 40-second break before switching to the next one. Okay, so just going back and forth, A1, A2. All right, here at about 12 minutes, we're going to get it going. All right, here we go. First round, goblet squat. So remember, you're keeping that dumbbell right up close to the body underneath the chin. You're cupping the end of the dumbbell with your hands, and you're keeping the elbows close to the lower bell of the dumbbell. Okay. Trying to go through as full range of motion as you can handle. If you're getting down below the knee joint, trying to go those elbows inside the knees. Okay. So that was the first version, just simple goblet squat. We've been doing that the entire last phase. So that should be pretty simple for you. Now you notice the next progression, I basically wrapped a band around one end of the dumbbell, and we're going to use that band to add some additional resistance than just gravity and the weight. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the one arm dumbbell military press. I'm going to start with my left arm. So press is straight to the ceiling, knuckles are straight up, ribs are down. I like to use that hand on my ribs for cue to make sure I'm not overextending too much. I was feeling a little stiff today, so I'm probably doing it a little bit. Just trying to keep that dumbbell more or less right over that AC joint of the shoulder. Maintain a balance. All right, switch to the other side. 10 reps. Ready, go. That's it. Good. So I typically keep the dumbbell more in a neutral position. If I was looking in the mirror, I'd see the numbers on the end of that dumbbell. You can also rotate it. So another great way is to have the end of the dumbbell facing away from you, or like a neutral grip at the bottom, and then rotating the dumbbell so the palm is facing away from you at the top. It's kind of like that natural rifling motion. Some great rotation as you press that thing up. It's kind of a more natural way to allow that shoulder to move. That's one of the beautiful things about dumbbells. Okay, so what I'm going to do with the band is I'm going to stand on it about shoulder width. All right, keep that band pinned to the floor. I'm going to try to keep the rubber band tracking inside my knees. It's a little bit awkward, not going to lie, but it is a great way to add some additional load without having to have a bunch of extra equipment, okay? So adding more load, making the legs work harder. It's also making my upper body work much harder to keep that dumbbell pinned to my chest right there, okay? So still trying to get 10 repetitions. The goblet squat and subsequent squats is also, this is excellent, excellent core work. Those abdominal muscles are having to lock in tight and brace to keep that dumbbell from folding me over. So it's almost like doing a bunch of crunches while you're doing squats. And you'll probably notice if you do your goblet squats relatively heavy, it's pretty hard to breathe. You still want to make sure that you are breathing and you exhale as you're standing up out of the bottom of the squat. But it's just a great kind of example of how hard those abdominal muscles are working. Okay, second round, one arm dumbbell military press. That's it. Trying to get those good reps. Remember, trying to get about 10 in 20 seconds. If you get a lot more or you finish much earlier, you might want to go up a little bit. You make it more challenging to the body. Okay, we're looking for about a 1 count up and down. So each repetition should take about 2 seconds. Great technique. Always, always super, super important. And then also making sure that you are being safe. You want to select a weight that you can control. You don't ever want weight over your head that you can't control. That thing will come down and conk you pretty good. All right, so next round with the squats. We're going to go a unilateral version of the goblet squat, okay? So I'm going to hold the dumbbell in one hand, okay? And I'm going to squat holding that dumbbell more towards one shoulder with the other arm free, okay? So this is actually one of the most functional ways to do a squat exercise. If you have kids and you've ever had to hold one kid on your hip and then also bend down and pick things up, this is that exact movement, that exact stressor. So you've got your baby right there in your arm, got to squat down and grab that binky, that blanket. It's challenging. This is a very functional exercise. So I'm going to do 5 with one arm and 5 with the other arm. This is really challenging my hip stability. I'm having to fight to keep my hips from sliding side to side, just throwing that balance off. Whew, that's a good one. All right, just getting more and more challenging as we go along. Nothing really changes with the military press. And remember, all these different variations that I'm showing you are just additional options. You can just pick one that you want to try or are comfortable with and just stick with it for all 5 rounds. You do not have to change each time. It's just me showing you variety of how you can work some other different ways to do these same movement patterns in under load for the remainder of this month. All right, here we go. 1 arm dumbbell military press, getting those reps. Those shoulders are going to be extra, extra strong after everything we're going to be doing this month. If this bothers your shoulders for any reason, some people just aren't built to press overhead, I would use that same exercise that we utilized on A-Day, the dumbbell lateral raise. Every bit is effective. You're still loading all the musculature in the shoulders. You won't be hitting all the muscles in the lower arm quite the same as the press, but it's still a great exercise, very, very effective and healthy for the rotator cuff too, as they kind of lock that ball and socket joint in. Okay, there we go. See, that was round 3. Just 2 more rounds here with that squat. Okay, this one actually might be harder than the barbell version I'm going to show in the last round. I'm going to go 2 dumbbells. You're going to hold 1 on each shoulder in a front rack or front squat position. That doubles the load, and it also requires a ton of stability out of the shoulder complex because you have to stabilize both those free floating dumbbells in space, keep them up there, and then also squat. All right, let's see how I do. This is a very challenging exercise. There we go. So keeping those dumbbells locked right up there by the shoulders. Arms are strong. It's getting tough. It's over 100 pounds right there on the shoulders. Dumbbells are floating around. You got it. Yes. Wow. That can be challenging. There's a reason why people design and develop barbells. They are very effective tools. Dumbbells can be equally effective though. Okay, we are breathing heavy. All those squats, that full range of motion, those large muscle groups, that is really pumping that metabolism up. About 10 more seconds. We're going to do another round of the military press or the dumbbell lateral raises if that's what you opted for. If the military press bothers your shoulders for any reason, remember you always want to be safety first. We're always playing that long game, okay? Consistency over time is what gets you the results. So not trying to use an exercise that causes residual damage because you just have to do some backward steps in the future to let things heal up if you're banging yourself up too much. That's it. 10 solid reps. Always technique first. Remember, health first. You don't want to stack extra load or pursuit of performance on top of a unsound structure or chassis. That's it. Very nice. All right, 1 more round, folks. You guys are doing great. Okay, so now I'm going to show you front squat. All right, if you have a barbell and you have some plates to use, you don't even need a rack really with this. You will need to get proficient at a power clean or hang clean technique. But as long as you can rack that bar in front of you, then you'll be good to go with the barbell, okay? So with a front squat, that barbell is going to rest basically on the collarbone and the meat of your shoulders, the meat of your deltoids, okay? You have to keep your elbows up high, creating a natural shelf that'll prevent the bar from rolling off the shoulders. So this is similar to what you'll see a lot of really professional CrossFit athletes as well as Olympic weightlifters use. This is a highly effective exercise. Allows you to use a little bit more load, but also really, really engages that core as that load is in front of your body trying to fold you over. Okay, 10 reps there. You just did 50 squats. Great work, folks. All right, we just got 1 more round of that dumbbell military press. Really get that mind right. Notice I'm always kind of trying to stay one step ahead. So during those rest times, I use it to my advantage to make sure that my workout flows, and that I'm not having to hold things up for any equipment. All right, last round at those presses. Get 10 solid reps. Take about a 40-second break as we transition to the next part. There we go. Make sure the knuckles are straight up. And last arm. Here we go. 10 more reps. Get it. There we go. Way to work, guys. About 10 more seconds. Get a few more reps. There it is. Oh, yeah. Good work. Okay. So we get about 40 seconds to transition to the next part. So you have 3 exercises. Each one is unilateral in nature. You really only need 1 dumbbell. I chose 2 because I can use a little bit more weight with my upper body than I can on a lateral lunge. But your 3 exercises are a 1-arm dumbbell row. Like we demonstrated in the last phase, you can just do a 1-arm bent over row where you don't use any support. I used that bench right there today to place 1 arm against to give myself a little bit of extra upper body support. So still trying to get that whole back parallel with the floor, and you're raising that elbow to the ceiling, trying to get that thumb or that dumbbell up right close to your ribs. So you're going to go 10 repetitions in 20 seconds or less. And you're going to switch to the other side. Ready, set, go. Doing great. That is it. 10 on each side. You get a little bit of a break. Next exercise is a single leg glute bridge. You can do this lying on the floor. I prefer a bench. So I'm laying my shoulders flat on the bench, just my back at the shoulder blade level and up is touching the bench. So everything below that is free floating in space. So the bench is just a way to kind of elevate the whole torso. Okay, 1 leg at a time. You're thrusting the hips to the ceiling, trying to draw the belly in, ribs down, really deliberately trying to drive that glute. Okay, this is also another excellent core exercise. 10 reps. Nice work. So as you lose 1 leg as a base of support, those hips are going to try to drop. Here we go. 10 more reps here. And you have to really fight to maintain those hips square with the floor as the other leg kind of floats in space. So those abdominal muscles are working hard during this exercise as well. The abs are kind of woven into just about everything we're doing here today. All right, 10-inch leg there. Now we take a little break. Now this is going to be the challenging movement. You have to move fairly quickly, okay? If you load this is a little bit different way to load it, okay? You can also hang on to a dumbbell and just have it kind of hanging there like you're going to do a deadlift, okay? So you're going to laterally step in the same plane doing a lateral lunge. You need to push hard enough to return back to a narrow base, okay? Because this range of motion is so large, you're going to have to get some pretty quick reps and push hard as you come up out of that lunge in order to get 10 and 20 seconds. It's okay if you don't, but really try to work up to it. Okay, there's 10 right there. And shift to the other side. So I typically try to at least tap the dumbbell to the floor. You can hold up a little bit higher if you want more range of motion. It's just really hard to get 10 reps if you go much deeper than that on that lateral lunge. This is an excellent exercise to get some of those lateral fibers of that glute. Very nice. Okay. Wow. Heart rate is up already. We're just on round 1. This is going to be fun. Okay. Getting that interval training with weights. Super, super effective. Here we go. Round 2. Rows. Lock that torso in, brace the abdominal muscles, drawing it in. Elbow to the ceiling. Just bring the dumbbell up high enough to where it gets pretty close to the ribs. Okay. Breathing, recovering. I got 10 reps in there far before the time was up, so I got a little bit more rest. All right, other arm. Repping it out. Keep on working, folks. It's going to burn. That back's going to get a little bit tight. This is good for you, though. Strong people have strong backs. All right. A little bit of rest time. Got to get those glutes going here next. That great glute bridge. All right, I'll probably want to get yourself in a position. Remember, if you don't have a bench or anything to elevate your torso, you can always just lie down on the floor. That is equally as effective. I prefer doing this because I feel like I get a little bit more range of motion out of it. That's the only reason. There we go. 10 reps. Nice. Great job, friends. Keep it up now. All right, here we go. Other leg. Ready, set, go. Good. Get those reps. Deliberately trying to squeeze that glute. Glute driving those hips to the ceiling. Keep that belly drawn in. Ribs are down. Excellent job. Okay. I'm loving it. On to the lateral lunges. Heart rate's going to climb a little bit with each round. It's going to get tougher and tougher. Good thing you're tough. Here we go. Lateral lunge. So just stepping straight to the side. All those 4 points of contact have to be stuck on the floor. Trying to drive, activate that glute, push hard out of the bottom of that lunge so you can stand all the way up tall with that narrow position. Make sure that heel stays in contact with the floor as you drop down to that lunge position. If you ever lose the contact with your heel, you're not getting the full contraction out of all those backside muscles. Here we go. Second leg, getting those 10 reps. Got about 10 more seconds. That's it. Very nice. Round 2 down. 3 more. You got this. Keep it up. Doing great. Keep you just like that high school basketball, that college sport you played. Really using that great conditioning that you built up. Okay, so in the nose, out the mouth. Make sure you're breathing. That's it. All right, here we go. Second arm with the rows. Nice job. Remember, elbow to the ceiling. Dumbbell to the ribs. Elbow should be close to the side but not touching. If you get those 10 reps before the time is up, you get more rest, which means you get to go harder on the next exercise because you're more rested. About 20 seconds. Going back to that glute bridge. Maintain that focus. It gets uncomfortable. It's a great opportunity to work on doing the right thing, even when it hurts. All right, here we go. Embrace the burn a little bit. Hips to the ceiling. Firing that glute first. Drawing the belly in. Trying to keep the hips square at the floor. No drop in that floating side hip. Great work. Here we go. Second leg. 10 repetitions. You got this. Draw it in. Glute. Try to get all the way up in that tabletop position. Make sure you're pushing to the heel part of the shoe. Don't ever want to get up on that toe. Don't want to lose contact with the heel on the floor, or you can't get those glutes working. All right, lateral lunge, our favorite, coming up, getting that heart rate up. I have a very special conditioning bonus for you guys today. I'm sure that you will love it. All right, here we go. Lateral lunges, left leg, trying to get those 10. Remember, 4 points of contact, pushing hard out of the lunge. Get up nice and tall, narrow base. You got this. There we go. Almost there. 5 more seconds. Get a few more reps. Come on. That's it. Nice. Good job. Okay. Second leg. Go time. There we go. If you're holding the dumbbell like I am, make sure you're trying to get as low to the floor as you can. Maybe letting that dumbbell touch. And pushing up out of it strong. Trying to step straight to the side in the same plane. And 10. Nice work. Just 2 more rounds. It's really starting to build up. You're starting to catch that second wind. You got this. Keep it up. All right, 5 seconds. About time to get back to those rows. Here we go. Row time. That's it. Elbow to the ceiling. Elbow close to the ribs but not touching. Nice flat back. Make sure that you exhale, draw in as you pull that dumbbell towards your chest, elbow to the ceiling. All right, here we go. Second arm. Keep it up, guys. I know it's challenging. I know you're up to the challenge, though. Here we go. That's it. Great rows. Make sure that technique is locked in. A little bit of movement with the whole rest of the body is totally fine. You don't have to keep it completely isolated. All right, about 20 seconds. Round number 4 with the glutes. You got this, guys. It's getting intense. Here we go. 10 more seconds. Let's do that work. Get the most out of it. Don't want to sacrifice any of this time. You're doing this for a reason. No sense working out and not getting anything to show for it. Here you go. 10 reps. Good. Here we go. 5 more. That's it. Yes. Keep working, folks. 5 more seconds. Make sure you get your good 10. You finish early, you get more rest. Here we go. Second leg. Ready, set, go. Pushing the hips through the ceiling, firing the glute, pushing through the heel part of the shoe. Belly bending in, ribs down. All 10. Make sure you're keeping track. That's it. Nice job. Very good. One other really challenging way that you can do that glute bridge is you can elevate your foot on something. So say you're at home and you want to put your foot up on the couch. That's also another really challenging way. You probably feel that a little bit more in the hamstrings than the glute if you do it that way. Okay, round 4, lateral lunges. Here it is. Big step out to the side. Push back hard. Try to make sure that glute is where you're generating most of the power from. 4 points of contact in the feet. Push hard enough to get back to home base. And 10. Nice work. Onto that second leg. Guys, we're almost there. Here we go. Big step out. Make sure the hips are sliding backwards, allowing you to load the backside muscles. Never lose contact with the heel on the floor. You need that in the weight room. Almost there. Couple more reps. Very nice. Okay. Last round. You got this. It is so worth it. Think how good you feel when it's mission accomplished. You conquer this very challenging workout. You know you just worked harder than anybody else, and you're going to get the results that you're pursuing. All those good feelings. Here we go. Never sell yourself short. I'm sure you found out a lot about yourself doing challenging exercises like this. Challenging routines. You're going to learn even more. Here we go. Last 10 rows right here. Keep it up, guys. That's it. I know you're tired. Keep that technique locked in. 2 more exercises. Doing great. 1 more round with the glutes. 1 more round with the lateral lunge. We'll talk about some conditioning. Here we go. About 10 seconds. Probably want to get yourself in position. Just about that time. All right. Draw the belly in. Fire the glute. 10 reps to get better. Push the heel part of the shoe. Try to get those hips all the way up high enough to where you're a tabletop. Here we go. Nice work. Okay, quick switch to the other side. Ready, set, go. That's it. Very nice. Keep on working. Keep on working. You got this. Nice job, guys. Keep it up now. That's it. Yes, way to get 10. Awesome work. One last exercise. In 20 seconds, we're going to work our way through the end of this one. All right, here we go. Dripping sweat. If it's dripping off your nose, you know you're working hard enough. Here it comes. Oh yeah. Here we go. Big lateral lunges. Pushing up out of it strong. Pushing out of the 4 points of contact of that foot. Make sure you're mindful. Make sure you're feeling it. Feel where your foot is. Feel where you're pushing from. Very nice. Okay. Last 10. Last leg. Let's go. Here it is. Good. 8 more. Good. 7 more. You got this. Come on. 10 more seconds. You're doing great. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. 3, 2, 1. Done. Way to go. Wow. This is going to be a challenging month. But think how much better you're going to be once you dominate this whole thing. It's going to be worth it. Okay. So here is a new bonus routine, okay? These are called Vo2 Max Intervals. Basically, it's just 2 rounds of all-out effort for 4 minutes, okay? That can, just like with the other routines, that can mean whatever you want it to, okay? So you can row as hard as you can. You can run a treadmill. You can go outside and walk quickly. Walking uphill is an excellent way to kind of get the same effect without having to run, okay? But it's 4 minutes going as hard as you can, and then you get complete rest. That means you stop and rest, sit down, whatever, for 2 minutes, okay? Collect yourself, and then get back at it again. So 4 minutes going hard. It's 8 minutes total, so it's a little bit less work than A day or B day. But it is highly, highly effective. It's really going to help build those high-level aerobic systems too. So experiment with it. It's going to be uncomfortable, but I know you got this. And I will see you tomorrow for A day. Okay? Great job, guys. Way to get after it.